All right, we're back for, I guess this is installment 3 of the Axial Coyote Comp Crawler RTR. It's pretty good. It's pretty RTR. In the previous video, did a few things to it. We put my good old hobby or power hobby servo in it, the 729, not the 760. I demonstrated just how good it is, only at 6 volts. This is capable of going up to 8.4 volts. When I get my new ESC and motor combo, it's probably going to be a 2-in-1. Let's not play around. I will bump the voltage up to probably 7.4 or 8.4, depending on what it will put out. This is a high voltage servo winch that I'm fixing to install right now, and you're gonna watch and hopefully enjoy it. This says it's high voltage. Let's see what does that mean. All right, I didn't even read this before I bought it. So this will do 8.4 volts, but by golly, that is what we're gonna do. So at 8.4 volts, this will lift 5.13 kilograms. That's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. Because this probably weighs, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 pounds. Even if it weighed 10 pounds, a kilogram is more than twice as heavy as a pound. So this is going to be just fine. Let's see what it's going to lift at our stock system's voltage. This is only putting out 6 volts. And BT dubs. It's right here. It says it right there. Sad face. 6 volts. And the drag brake is abysmal. It's not great. You can move it, push it whenever you put it on an obstacle. It rolls. It's kind of sad. But at 6 volts, 3.68 kilograms is what it's saying it can lift at 6 volts. So still, that's like probably, if we do some guesstimation math, that's like 10 pounds. So even at the stock settings, this is gonna be pretty dang good. You know, let's find out. Is there something underneath? Oh, there's instructions. This is a nice tin. I will be keeping this. This thing was 50% off at Hobbytown. They got a sale going on right now. So if you're watching this, sorry, I don't know when I'm going to put this up. The sale might be over, but that's a lot. But 50% off is a good deal because this comes with all metal gear, high voltage, comes with the spool, comes with the hook, comes with all your screws, comes with the winch line. I don't know how long that is yet, but it looks pretty long. Good synthetic line right there. So I like that. Nice tin. I'll keep that. It's good for putting RC screws and stuff in. Or, you know, if you're pretend to be a 10th scale grandma, maybe cookies or a sewing kit. Some of you will get that. I am probably not going to read this, but it does come with instructions. This is not a review on the Spektrum servo winch. I bought it because they had it and was happily surprised that it was 50% off. I've had pretty good success with some of Spektrum's more high-end stuff, more expensive stuff. So I think that this thing is going to work just fine. Let me stop yammering on. And for the sake of easeability, I'm going to move the servo wire, unplug it out of channel 1, and just stick it off over here to the side. These are going to look good next to each other too. Not that that necessarily matters, but doesn't it kind of matter? Is that in frame? Yeah, that's in frame. Let me pull it over here just a tad bit. Oh yeah, that's much better. I like that. Closer to me. It's more in the center for you. Okay, this came with a micro servo adapter plate, which we're going to send off into the we don't need it world. Took the wheels off because it is easier to manipulate parts and screws and all of this. Plus, I still need to cover the vent holes. If you're watching this series, you're probably like, man, he's just recording a video and then stopping and then starting another video. And you're right. That is exactly what's happening. All right. You are smart. So now that this is out of the way, this ought to drop right in. Now, I didn't mount it. I tested it at the hobby shop to make sure that there's enough room down in here to do this. And I essentially came to the conclusion that this needs to be towards the back. Because there's a spool there. That's like over a half an inch of depth I'm adding to this. So, and it looks like I can get to it from the bottom. So that's exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to mount all this before I ever put that in there. And just like I suspected, that drops right in. And we're going to take these screws, take them the rest of the way out, and we'll use them in here. Most of these servos, and actually this one does too, they do come with that rubber mount for every corner. I never use those. I don't use them. Especially for a servo winch. It's not going to be getting a bunch of shock on its movement arm because it doesn't have one. It's got a spool. I'm not tightening these. I'm just starting them. So, yeah. Everybody calm down. I'm not torquing anything yet. We're just getting her started. Mm-hmm. And it goes. Still loose. This is a very nice touch. I will say that this is not innovative. Not really. I have an Element RC over there. The Ecto, it's the truck with the flatbed looking thing in the back. And that came with his exact setup. Steering servo here and a spot for a full-size servo winch, which I, of course, put in there. It is nice that they did that, though. All right. Now that they're all started, I'm going to go ahead and just torque them down. Because there's no need to take care for the alignment like a steering servo. I don't really have to be that careful. So, put that back up there. All right, that is installed. I'm going to run this under like so. I don't know how this is going to get routed just yet, but for the sake of the video, I had not put this back in yet. I said in the previous video I was going to mount this off camera to route all the wires. I didn't because then I realized the next thing I was going to do is this. So I did not put this in. Apologies for lying to you. But that will go in after this because then all the wire management that this thing does will be done. And anything from here forward will be just here. So I will be doing that after this. So we're going to plug this thing in, and then I'll show you how it's going to function. I think I put it in channel 5. Previous video, I did talk about how there is some magic, some wizardry happening where if you plug this into channel 5 or 6, it gives you the winch function, whether you press channel 5 or 6. So just listen, you'll hear it. One sounds faster or more powerful. I can't figure out what it is. Weaker, stronger, perhaps. And what's neat, so that seems like that might be the in, and that maybe that's the in or maybe that's the out. I don't know. We'll see what the strength feels like. But if I pull this and put it into channel 6, okay, channel 5 still sounds more aggressive. Let's plug it in back to channel 5. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Channel 5 still sounds more aggressive. I don't know if the rotation changes at all. Let's look at that. Now look at it on the bottom. Channel 5 turns counterclockwise. Channel 6 turns clockwise when it is plugged into channel 5. So channel 5 is counterclockwise. We'll just remember that because they're opposite. Channel 5 plugged into channel 5, counterclockwise. Let's see if I put it on channel 6, does that change? I don't think you guys can see this, but you'll just have to believe me. It's the same. Doesn't matter if it's channel 5 or channel 6. It sounds the same and it spins the same direction no matter which channel it's in. So for the sake of wire management, I'm going to put it back on channel 5. And what's cool about this is I still have... Why am I on the struggle bus? There it goes. And these are momentary, which is perfect. I still have... Oh, that's right. I unplugged my steering. I still have several channels. Let's see, 3. I still have 3 additional channels to do other things. If I want to add lights, which I said I wasn't going to, but I just might add some rock lights, I can do that. I might add some just some basic LEDs in the front and the rear, so it'll give it some cool curb appeal. There's another channel. If I do figure out how dig works, because I could have swore the box said dig. I'm gonna look at the instructions. I think if I read it correctly or not, but I think you might be able to put dig in this. So now I have plenty of channels to do that, and channels on my remote to do it. 10 channels, in fact. So this is a pretty straightforward thing. Let's see here. How long has this video been going on? Do I want to cut it or keep putting you guys through this torture? 13 minutes. All right. Let's keep going. All right. This is plastic. When I squeeze it, oh, geez, that's pretty hard. It kind of feels like plastic. Let's see what the file does to it. Are you plastic or are you aluminum? That's aluminum. All right, cool. That is aluminum. Save that. These are the little buffers for the servo. That's a screw for the hook. That's the servo. That's for this part. So really the hard part... Oh, okay. This is the crush piece for the line to go around that hook on here. So let's do that. Okay, yeah, right here I'm still at frame. Okay, cool. Okay. So we've got our hook, the nut, the screw, the crush, portion that loops around the screw, and this goes in and out of and then crushes to make the connection. So we've got to get this thing through this hole twice. Or maybe once. But then that screw has got to go in there as well. So what I'm going to do, because I've done this before, is I'm going to put this screw in there first. So I don't have to battle the winch line. Loctite, potentially unnecessary. Go ahead and stick that through there. And just kind of have that waiting. Because now the screw does not have to bypass a winch line that is potentially going to be bisecting the drum. All right, let's undo this and see what mess we're looking. What kind of coiled up nightmare this is. Man, I'll make this easy. It's shiny. It looks like real winch line. And it feels long. Oh my goodness, this is long. Holy cow, this is long. Man, this is longer than my wingspan. This is probably 6 feet. Probably 6 feet easily. All right, which end has the cleanest end? All right, it's this end. So in order to get this to pass through the drum, oh, this is still on. Right, I'm gonna turn this off while I'm doing this part. Where's the battery? Chilling. To get this line to pass through that tiny hole, I am going to use a lighter and make this into a point. Do it kind of fast so you don't burn yourself. A little bit of hot plastic, but got pretty tough fingers. You could probably put this through, run it out here, tie a knot, and be done with it. What you're supposed to do is put it through both sides, I think. And actually, the more I observe this, that hole is smaller than that hole, which makes me believe I don't know. I don't know what it makes me believe. Let's see if this will pass through. That looks like it is way too big to go through that hole. So let's try this side. Yeah, it just, because of the way this is coiled, it doesn't want to go through that side either. I may need to kind of melt this first part into just a strip or a string. That's extra thin. Pass through there. Man, this is going to be the hardest part. Like, come on, guys. Make it hard and thin. Otherwise, it just caves in on itself. Come on, the screw moved. Trying to avoid that. Down there. Try if I can fish this through with a pick. Just kind of help motivate it in there. What they're going to end up doing is making me drill a bigger hole. That might be what happens. Because they did not make this easy to thread through this tiny hole. Imagine if I was trying to go in that hole. That one's even smaller. Man, I don't know how they want you to do this. It would need to be quite a bit longer and skinnier. I can tell by feeling this, it's going to be strong. There's just no way to push that in there. How do you push something limp? Get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make a bigger hole. That is annoying. I'll make a bigger hole and then a bigger knot. So, you know what time it is. Let me get my drill. And that is the way the hobby goes sometimes. All right. Let's see if I can do this without twisting this drill in my hand and hurting myself. A little diamond file, different Leatherman. Just want to take down any kind of rough burr. Now, with winching, if you've never done winching before, even if it's with a real vehicle and not an RC, you do not want to let all of your line out. You want to ensure that you leave on the winches I've had on my real truck in the past. It's like 10 wraps, 8 to 10 wraps. So in RC cars, I don't know, probably a pretty good rule, 8 to 10 wraps. So there won't actually be any real stress on the hole and the line coming out of the hole, as long as you have enough wraps. So clearly that was easy and necessary. I'm just going to make this into a big enough knot that it can't slip back through there by accident if I do unintentionally wind it all out. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take an overhand knot like this, and I'm going to twist it a couple of times to make the part that sits inside of that spool fat. Like that. Run it through. We'll do one of these. And you'll see that now we got a chunky section of knot to sit in here, which is why we did our screw first. Now that's going to sit inside, just like that. We can take our excess. You could probably leave that, but I don't want that hanging down. That looks kind of sloppy. So take my Leatherman here. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to burn it. Give it a little cut. Singe it. Smash that down with the lighter. I just lick my finger and compress the nylon. So in order to get this on the truck, we're going to need to pull the line back out just a little bit so we can fit our tool in there. But our knot isn't in the way. Our tool will still fit down in there. Right there. All right. Cool. This is literally nothing more. Lifting the chassis, lining it up, and tightening it down. That's probably in frame. All right, I would like to make this tight, so I'm going to turn the truck on. So that the winch is being held still. All right. Now I can pull my line. That's sturdy. Our other end is still open. Because I don't want to look at this anymore, I'm going to vacuum this up out of our work area, put my drill away, and put these away. So if you will pardon me for a moment, I'll be right back. All right. Through the magic of pressing pause, that's all cleaned up, drill's put away. The next thing we're going to do is take a really long amount of winch line, which is awesome. I love that. And I think it's great because you get a lot. It gives you options in competitions. And it also, if you break this, you can, fix it. You can put it back. There is a spot in here. You see, if you can even see that. Let me back out. There we go. There's a spot in here to run your line. It's a guide. I'm going to fish that through there. And, oh, we got a knot. Let's fix that real quick. Man, there's so much of this. All right, we'll thread that through here. And I'm going to kill the fraying on that one. Oof, that was hot. So our spool's right here. We still have full compression of our, oh, here we go. Our spool's right there. There is no interference. And I do not think there will be any interference from the winch line moving past the steering linkage components either. So let's see if we can get this through here without all my hair falling out. Let's see. You guys in camera. Let's get you some better view. There we go. So I'm trying to get the winch line to go through that. That is cool. They did include a guide for your winch line. Now I'm a sucker for a good winch. Winch with an I, not an E. Although man, this is like some really flimsy stuff. Let's use this. Tools are useful. Boop. Just like that. I go. All right. So that is fed through. I'm going to go ahead and feed it through the front of the bumper right here. Now that it's through our guide. I don't have enough. My fingers don't fit. Maybe I can reach through and grab it with these again. Nope. Just need to get a hold of more of it. I swear, things go smoothly when I'm not recording. I promise you. All right, cool. We got it. I'm not saying it's your fault, but it might be your fault. It might be. Okay. So yeah, we got it. Spool, line secured, servo winch secured. Line is routed through the provided routing position, and it is in line with the spool. That was very cool of them to do. How's that? That's a better look, right? There you go. Very cool. We have so much servo line. This is crazy. On that note, I'm going to put this down. Oh my god, there's so much of it. And I'm going to spool it in. Let's see which one is in. I guess it's whichever one I want. Yeah, we're there. Which one feels stronger? Is in stronger? Oh, golly, that is strong. Holy crap, that's strong. All right, does the other direction feel different? All right, I don't know why, but this button direction, which it doesn't actually matter. Well, it does. I could spool it inward with this button, but this button inward rotation seems to feel stronger, and the outward seems to feel faster, and that's kind of ideal. So I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna spool it all the way in with a little bit of tension. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's spooling up there nicely too. Which is to say, it doesn't look like it is bunching up in one place on the drum. It is bunching up a little bit more on the bottom, but it's like 7 feet of cord. This is ridiculous. It's such a lot. Okay, so we got to leave some of it out so we can attach it. This thing. All right, we're still in. We're still in there. Oh. All right, cool. Yeah. Let's see. All right. How does one get this through this thing, not just once, but twice, when it's that big? These are usually relegated to cables, but this is not a cable. This ought to be fun. Perhaps we will just do it one time with a loop. We will loop like this. That looks exceedingly difficult. I don't think that is gonna work. Maybe if we can get it through once. Okay, got it through once. Perhaps. Let me give myself some more here. That's super cool. And that does look good. That looks good. Perhaps. If I pull enough through and then stick this in here and then pull it back through, it'll grab a hold of this and then feed it as well. You know, if I start it and then kind of cram it in there as I pull this through. Yeah, it's just kind of pushing it. Okay. I'm going to make that more round and less elongated. Maybe if I make it more round, I can fit more line through it. Kind of like that, maybe. The other alternative is to just tie it off on this little setup here. But if we want to use what they are providing, this is what you're supposed to do. I need to be able to pull that, so I'll wrap it a couple times. This thing is just not having it. I may just make this a knot. This is kind of more trouble than I think I even care to get into. Oh, hell, where'd that go? Yeah, I'll find it later. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna tie this into a knot. So that's gonna go through there. Jeez. That slips on. Like that. Either way, it is this line will be on the threaded part of that screw. It's not the best. There are better. The Traxxas one is really good. I know I say that a lot. I like their hook way better. It's like a little mini replica of the Factor 5, which is a real scale. Damn, do I need to put that in here first? How does this not fit through here too? Come on, guys. Alright, fine. You win. I'm going to double this up. So right now, I'm not going to tie it just yet, but I'm going to double it up. So I want 2 strands running through this because it's going to be on threaded screw. So I like to distribute the load across 2 strands of winch line to help preserve it from getting broken, cutting itself, of course. Was it because I crushed it? Oh no! Oh no, the screw went somewhere. Okay, it wasn't that bad. The screw definitely bounced off my foot and tried to move to New Mexico. If it isn't obvious, I am just like you. Just another guy. Come on. Is that... Okay, that should go in there. Just another guy doing RC. Yes. Alright, cool. Doing RC for fun. Does it sound like I'm having fun? It should. I'm having a blast. This is part of the territory. We all know it. The ups and downs and frustrations of doing modifications. Okay, now I've got this through here. I'm going to take my loops, put them on this side, and pull all of the free end that I have been using to make this easier through. Let's see, which one is it? Come on. That's not that. Is it that? Like, why are you so hard? Okay. Oh no. That one got a little chewed up. I don't like that. But there's plenty of it. Line that up in here. Now I'm going to take this and tie it off how we want it. I'm going to do over twice. And then back through the loop. This loop. And then this loop. I think this will fit right through there. Let's see. Knot slid. Remove that knot up here. Because it won't fit through this fairly. And it's crazy. That's going to get more fast and more powerful with a new voltage that will be going to it eventually. Oh, my wife's coming out. I'm in trouble. Well, as it turns out, my wife is a human and wants to eat. So I'm going to finish this real quick. I'm not going to button this all up because it's nothing more than routing the wires back onto this thing and putting it back together. It's just 2 screws. But you've seen that it mounts really easily. I will reconnect this. I'll route it underneath and make it all pretty. Trying to get this knot to sit close to the hook like I want it. And then that'll be it. That is pretty much job done for the winch install. Yeah, good. Throw one more in there. Like that. That did not turn out like I wanted it. Maybe. No. I just get closer. It's kind of working. Let's see if that will go in. Oof. Yeah. Maybe that's for shackles. I don't know. I think it's for lights. That tucks in nicely. That is tight. I'm going to call that done. That is done. Hallelujah. We're good to go. We got us a functional winch. It is nice and tight in there. So when we need to recover something from half a mile away, we can do it. Ourselves. We're going to recover ourselves. This is a competition rig, right? Anyway, good times. Thanks for watching. If you thought this was useful, if you enjoy my videos, give me a like, comment, subscribe, share, ring the bell, all of the things that YouTube thinks is worthwhile. I will certainly appreciate it, and I will certainly see you in the next video, which is probably going to be pretty soon, because I am out of control. Later.